Takes a while.
My name is Joseph Lananis, and my presentation is on unethical marketing to the elderly. There are many reasons why some con men decide to target the elderly. The elderly hold a disproportionate amount of the world's wealth, which is obtained by a lifetime of working. The lifetime of working enables them to usually own a piece of property, and the characteristics of the elderly is many of the elderly who were born in the 40s and the 50s, they were raised to be trusting of people, and polite, so they don't know if, say, a person calls them, they don't know like to say no or something like that. Or when a fraud has taken place to an elderly person, there are some reasons why they're reluctant to report it. If they were taken advantage of, maybe their children or their friends would think that they have an altered mental capacity now, so they might have an altered view of them. There's also the time frame of the fraud. It usually takes a few months or at least a few weeks for the person to realize that the fraud has even taken place. So, especially with the elderly person, their memory may be impaired, especially with the ill, and so they won't be able to remember exact details of the fraud. There are a few types of frauds that occur to the elderly, and prize or sweepstakes fraud is when a prize or a sweepstakes is offered over the phone or through mail to the elderly person, and saying that they must pay some shipping and handling fees or some other type of fees in order to collect their prize. And as you can see here, these types of fraud occur more in higher frequency to the elderly. They can occur in other demographical categories as well. Investment cons. These cons are where a person offers the elderly for a small investment. They will get large returns on their investment. And an example of this towards an elderly person is Eli Wiesel, the Holocaust survivor, and his wife lost their entire retirement savings from Bernie Madoff's fraud. There's also loan cons, where elderly people who are worried about paying bills or other mortgages and stuff like that, where unscrupulous dealers may offer them a loan at a reasonable rate at first and then maybe change the rate or refinance, and these people will find it difficult to repay what they need to. And then there's false charities, and also due to the trusting nature and giving nature of elderly people, these can be also devastating. Home or auto repair frauds are also prominent for the elderly because the elderly people, some of them can't do this type of work themselves. There's some consequences of this. I already mentioned the altered view of the person, where their kids or their friends think that they have altered mental capacity because they are a victim of such a fraud. Financial loss is probably the main consequence. For loans, it can be, or prize or sweepstakes, it can be minor, but then if it's they put their house as collateral or something like that, they could lose their house or a piece of land. So, in conclusion, the cons are targeted to the elderly because of their trusting characteristics. A solution to this could be increasing public awareness so that the elderly know what happens when these con men try and call them or mail them, and they may be able to recognize these frauds before they take place. But there won't be a final solution really until there's an ethical realization by the con men that these frauds are unethical. And thank you.